Got it. This rain, though, like I have to do drag in the rain tonight.
Oh, well, put a plastic bag over your face before you get to the club. But not too tight, because
enjoy the ride home. You fucking. I mean, look, I being a drag queen is like being a postman. We share the same oath.
Yeah, although I will say most drag queens are just like Postmates, because a lot of them are also Postmates.
Are you saying that there's no money in drag? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that we are scraping by? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying that you can get in the running to earn $2,000 from Swerve Vodka or whatever the fuck.
We don't have a sponsor. I dropped them. I don't want any more sponsors. I don't want to force anyone to have to drink booze they don't want to drink.
Thank you. That starts tonight? Is it Battle Babies tonight? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Good. I need the money. I need to get back to work, girl.
Get back to work, girl.
That trip. Not that I spent a lot of money on that trip, but I spent enough money on that trip. I picked up some of the gas. You know, I didn't want to feel like a complete slob.
Like that about you? Partial slob, Tony Soto.
Hi, YouTubes. We are here. We are queer, and we need you to get in gear
for the new year.
You see what we did there?
Ooh, here.
Oh, wait. Let me get my watch so I can figure out the timing situation. And then we'll do a little pod.
We'll pod it out.
I was gonna do a pod this week.
I know. Well, I was gonna talk about it on the show, but I was like,
but I'm glad it did. Well, yes, you can listen. Feel free to talk about whatever you want on the show. This is your show, babe.
Thank you.
Your show, babe.
Are we airing on the Tony Soto Show's YouTube again, or
no? I fixed it, but it does want to go there automatically because I am the more famous one.
Oh, speaking of automatic, Dead Pointer Sisters. They sang Automatic. It's one of their hits. One of my favorites. Lesser known, but one of my favorites.
You're always a B-side girl, aren't you?
I'm a B-side girl.
You're always going to be so indie, don't you? Do you know this band? Probably not. You're not near as indie as I am.
No, you're
books.
not.
Have you heard? I actually read books. Oh,
cultured.
They're all fucking corner band.
I like to get my fingers dirty, in more ways than reading. Yeah, by putting them up a poop chute. Got it? I'm a nerd. I'm a nerd for books and bums.
Books and bums.
Baby.
All right. Stop listening to me, phone. You gotta just stop. All right. Are you ready? Because I'm gonna give you a little countdown. It's gonna be like 4, 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Gay Power Half Hour, the only gay podcast on the internet with two gay hosts who are just like Republican leader Kevin McCarthy, because neither of us will ever be Speaker of the House. With your two backbenchers, Casey Lai.
Hi, I'm Tony Soto. What debacle.
Hilarious debacle. Maybe not for American democracy, but sure for all of us just watching on the telly or listening on the radio or on TikTok about the downfall of scumbag Kevin McCarthy.
Hi, Case.
Speaker of the House. Welcome back, 2023.
Happy New Year! We did it. We did another year. Well, 2022 is over. Do you feel like you had a successful 2022? Like, where are you in the realm of the old year?
Like was 2023 going to be better than 2022 or
yes? What? Oh, no. Like, did you enjoy your, listen, I know a lot of people that had a good 2022.
I had a good 2022. It felt like a big reset. It finally felt like like that the world wasn't 2022 was really good actually. By the end, I feel like we look back on
By
it,
the end,
there was
yeah.
there's optimism to be had for 2023, and personal and
Yeah,
you know
yeah. I mean, but it was the
political.
very end. It was the very end. Okay, it's like I
Well,
mean,
don't
like for
yeah. I
me, it
mean,
was like September. You know what I mean? Like I was still treading water until like September.
can I actually, I'm now remembering a moment early on where I had positivity, because in February of 2022 was when Putin invaded the Ukraine. I feel like if you say the part, you're
You
a
can't say
fascist.
the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't want
And invaded Ukraine, and it would seem bad. It seems so bad. It was so
that.
bad.
Oh, it
So many
was
people
bad. Yeah,
died.
yeah.
But I remember when they failed to take Kiev in like that first like month, less than a month, they retreated. There felt to be like that to me, honestly. I remember saying it. I was like, this is the tide of authoritarianism turning across the world. It just felt that way. And that, like Zelensky got Time Person of the Year. And I know there's going to be people on the left and the right who think, oh, Zelensky's bad. Whatever. Zelensky stopping Putin, especially stopping him from taking Kiev and this pushback, that is the tide turning against the right. And I just remember the Republicans were tying themselves to Putin at that time. Trump was Putin's fucking dick daddy, dick
True.
little bitch boy. And they were also tied to that, like them losing, and also like like Putin was the grand dom of authoritarianism, right-wing authoritarianism across the world. And so him losing so humiliatingly, is that a word? Losing with so much humiliation was really like the beginning of like, oh, it was like, this is the way that they're all going to go.
Have you seen those clips? Because Putin was notorious for keeping world leaders waiting. When they had meetings, when they had like
hours would go by.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now they're doing that to him now. And so they release these videos of him like just standing there waiting on some world leader that's, just as awful as he is, that would actually take a meeting with him.
Right.
And just waiting forever. And I think that's, and, Ukraine just had, I think they just took out their most Russian lives. I think it was like 89 lives. And they're reaching inside Russia now with their weapons, thanks to us, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm here for that. I'm here for them getting scars in their own borders. I think that's important for Russia to feel the war that they started. In that way.
And I will say this, for the first time in a really long time, it feels like U.S. made weapons are killing the right people.
Yeah, finally,
I wanted to kill Russian soldiers, not, Iraqi kids, Syrian kids, and I think
civilians. Yeah.
Maybe for the first time since World War II, that U.S. made weapons are actually killing people who kind of deserve it. I don't want anyone to die, but if they're going to die, I do want them to be Russian soldiers trying to take over Ukraine further. And I just and I'd feel bad because they're kids who don't want to be there either, and it sucks. War sucks and all that stuff.
Well, and they just declared martial law again, right? So they reinstated the draft. They're running out of people. Look, this is all good for us and bad for them. And honestly, they should have fucking seen that coming. Russia's been like, nasty for a moment. But speaking of nasty, I guess we should talk about like we're having
before we do, are you looking forward to 2023? Or how are you doing in 2022? Don't make it all about me and Russia.
Well. What I was going to say was, I was going to do a little caveat to the holidays and what we discovered there. But you know what, my thing with 20, I don't do the resolutions anymore. I stopped doing them. I know that 2022 was hard, but then it got better. So therefore, when I left 2022, I left on a positive note. I'm going into 2023 on that positive note, and we'll just see how it goes. Look, my job is fucking freelance. That is what I do, so I am at the whimsy of others for when it comes to whether or not they want to book me or come and see my shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just on the ride again. speaking of the holidays, I did a road trip, which I was gone for almost 2 weeks. The day that we're recording right now is my first time back in drag after that long time. And I kind of miss her. You know what I mean? I miss her. So I feel like
we'll see if the people miss you as well. We'll see.
But we're
I'm sure some of them do.
But it's rainy. You know what I mean? It's raining in Los Angeles right now. It's very rainy. And the gays aren't used to the rain here. So they don't necessarily always go out. So my fingers are crossed that they go out and continue to support, even during the rainy season when we should be having rain.
And I'm loving this. I mean, my trips were canceled that were supposed to take place during the holiday because of all of these atmospheric rivers. We didn't have a big enough plane boat to get through the choppy, rapid waters of the rivers in the sky. Also, can we just stop saying once in a generation storm, because they're now happening every all week. It's like the Gay Power half hour. The atmospheric rivers are happening almost every week.
I mean, I said that when they fucking said once in 100 years with the whole fucking Speaker of the House bullshit. Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Listen. Climate change is going to make it so that it's no longer once in 100. They're just going to be like, ooh, this one was bigger than that last one. That's what we're going to be in. Ooh, that one was bigger than the last one. Or we're going to be like, oh, thank God, that one wasn't as big as the last one. You know, that's our future now. But honestly, if that equals up to filling our reservoirs, I'm here for it. Fill
them up. Fill up those reservoirs with water.
Because that's what they're saying. They're like, look, yeah, this might be a couple of days of rain that we're getting here, but we're still really far from fucking filling up any bullshit that's worth it.
Yeah.
And we sit here in Los Angeles and I'm watching a river of runoff right now that is just going to find a fucking grate and pour into the ocean. How is it that we haven't in this fucking progressive ass state where you can get all these fucking amazing things because, you know, it's California? How have they not had someone collecting buckets? Like, why don't we have someone holding buckets at the fucking sewage grates and catch some buckets and throw them in the goddamn reservoir?
You want to give some people some jobs, give them a bucket, you know, when it rains, which is apparently all the time. It is crazy that we can legally put weed into our butts here in California, but we can't put water into a reservoir, you know?
And the fact that, and I think that literally that, and I think the thing is because it does happen so infrequently that we're like, oh, well, why worry about it? Bitch, that means we have plenty of time to set up some buckets. Like, and then we don't have to, we're not the one filling them. Like, why don't we just go place some? Look, this is why we should listen to Portland. Portland, every fucking yard in Portland has a fucking runoff bucket that they have to collect so they can water their plants and shit and whatnot. But no, we're going to spend thousands and thousands, millions of dollars on desalination plants so we can fucking suck the already salted water out of the ocean. But we're just fucking letting it go into all the non-salted water go into the ocean.
Yeah.
Make it make sense.
Don't invent a machine. Don't build a machine that pulls the salt out of the salt water. Invent a machine that pulls all the cigarette butts out of the fresh water that we got out of the buckets from the ground. You know what I mean? It makes sense to me. I don't know why we're not in charge. I'm not an industrial engineer or an urban planner.
Well, who do we talk to?
We need more buckets.
Well, who do we talk to?
Karen Bass.
Karen.
She's named after a fish. Karen? Fish swim in the water. And
Karen,
so I'm assuming she knows a thing or two about, you know, buckets and water and pulling things out of the water.
I mean, on Thursday, they're saying we're supposed to get so much rain in such a short amount of time. And I just watch it. It's just really fun. It's like when you walk around the rich areas in the middle of summer and you see these fucking water pigs with green ass lawns. Seriously. You know what I mean? It's like, I really hate you. I hate you and your stupidness.
And your money.
Anyway, Dead Pope.
Oh, quick! Speaking of kicking the bucket, it is the dead Pope, Benedict, whatever the fuck.
Dead 16th, Pope.
9, who cares?
Listen, we had a lot of dead happen right before 2023.
Icons.
I feel people had to jump ship. We lost the Pointer Sister. We lost Barbara Walters. We lost the fucking pedophile loving Pope. You know, the
drummer to Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yes,
legends.
Yes. But here's what I'm going to say about
Funky
this Pope.
legends.
I kind of appreciate this Pope, Casey. I kind of appreciate this Pope. They
a-
didn't bury her with her red Prada shoes, and I think that was probably in her writer. So I think that they kind of did some bullshit there. She loved those red shoes. But here's the thing. I kind of like that Pope, because that Pope proved that the whole papacy was bullshit. Because now, if you follow up on your Catholic cult, now you got to know your cults, all right? But these Catholics, they look at the Pope as like
number one,
God's secretary. Like that Pope has a one-on-one connection with Christ himself and is infallible, because everything that Pope says comes from the lips of Jesus. So
yeah,
this Pope, this was the first German Pope in a long time. Did the Nazi youth thing because she had to. She had to. She had to butt them in the face with their guns because that's what they did.
Well, yeah. And, you know, I mean, if you're a Catholic and a German, you do love following authority.
And you ask, and all you got to do is ask for forgiveness and you're fine.
Yeah.
But then,
sorry about that whole Hitler fiasco.
Yeah, sorry.
Other than that, I'm pure. Oops, sorry about all that pedophile disaster. God. Other than that, I'm pure. Let me
Yeah. Well, let's face it. The first Pope before him was the one who was in the midst of the kitty fiddling. This one just kept the secrets. But he was like, I can't do it. I'm retiring. I resign. You resign? You resign, but you were appointed by God. Wait a minute. All those other pedophiles stood in that castle for a long time, burnt different colored smoke to keep all the fucking peons outside entertained. And suddenly you feel old and can't do it anymore. The kitty fiddling one before you was a literal zombie before he died. They were wheeling him out and just raising his hand with a string and putting it down.
I mean, you're not wrong. And as the most Catholic of any of us on this show,
I'm recovered.
Were you baptized?
I absolutely was.
Were you confirmed?
I absolutely was.
Oh, you're actually more Catholic than I am.
I did everything, bitch. And then until the priest told my mom she was going to go on birth control after the third mistake.
The priest told your mom that she should go on birth control, or your mom told the priest?
My mom said, I want to go on birth. Oh, my mom said she wanted to go on birth control, and the priest said, you'll go to hell. And my mom said, we're not Catholic anymore.
Oh, well, you know, that sounds
She ruined it for me before the Pope did.
Your mom ruined it for me. Catholic lady.
That's the one who sent me. Yeah, well, she was one of those like Irish Catholics. You know, they're way worse. What is it called when you're like
fertile?
I mean, an Irish and a Mexican, you're going to make babies, all right, regardless. But so you know, fuck, you know, everyone is lining up to see this fucking shell of a person. Like, have you seen him? He's exposed, Casey.
Well, he's old.
In the elements, Casey.
And dead.
You can see him, Casey. He's not even in a box, Casey.
You know, but Catholics love pulling out their relics. Like they'll pull out like the mummified head of an old saint who was like raped to death in France for Jesus, and parade her around, you know, during the feast of whatever her name was. That's just like what they do. They love a shriveled up old pedophile to be, you know, and they'll have a feast and they'll make him a saint. I don't know if he's going to get to be a saint because he did preside over some bad times. He was a very conservative choice.
Do they have to be saints after they're dead?
No, but they, you know, the John Paul II is on his way to sainthood.
Yeah, but she quit. She quit. She should not get.
But you know, I will say, quitting was the best and most respectable thing that he did, because it allowed it. He was like, you know, he was the face of the unfolding scandal of one of the biggest scandal in the Catholic Church's history, and they've had some scandals, Mom.
Yeah, but they were fiddling kids long before that.
No, I know, but it wasn't prosecuted until under him. And
you're right.
He was known for a long time, you know, from the wrong angle of being like, these gay priests in our priesthood are ruining our reputation. He was talking about the pedophile scandal long before anyone else, long before any major figures were. Which,
Those
but
gay
again, it
priests
was
are fucking each other. They're not fucking kids.
no, exactly. The pedophile
That's the
priests are
beautiful
the
thing
ones
about the
fucking the
Catholic
priests.
Church.
The gays are having a nice, polite relationship with the deacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's those pedophiles that are like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know, because what do, Catholics? You fucking you throw little young ones in front of them so they could be usher boys or whatever. Like
Altar
you're
boys,
literally
yeah.
you're literally like throwing a carrot in front of a mule. You know,
I mean,
you're asking for it, you fucking losers. And this Nazi was like, I can't. You know what? I don't give a fuck if it was a bad time, and you have to be the face of it. You were appointed by that. Like you made your whole religion complete bullshit. But the space program did that for Catholics, but they still fucking cling to shit. Like they fucking, you know, the sun
space
fucking
program. You mean Galileo? You mean? But yes, Copernicus and Galileo did do a lot to hurt the church. But I will say the pedophile scandal really, you know, drove
I'm
a
just
dagger
glad, Casey, glad that Barbara got more news because she died first. You know what I mean? Like we were in the heat of Barbara. And so when the Pope died, I was like, meh, I care more about the Jew. You know what I mean? I was like, Barbara, because, you know, we took that road trip and I was listening to that book, The Ladies Who Punch.
Which is the oral history of the View
through a gay man's tellings after talking to a bunch of really loose-lipped ladies. You know, here's the thing. Yeah. They were mad when that book came out, but they weren't mad because they were like, you liar. They were mad because they were like, girl, you had to share that.
I can't say I've ever listened or read The Ladies Who Punch, but I want to. What is it about the origins, or does it like go all the way up until
it goes from the start, like from the beginning of the concept all the way to like right before McCain and stuff. Like they mention McCain or whatever, but like she's not covered in the book. But here's the truth of the matter. Listen, Barbara was losing it like towards 2014, 2015. Like, you know, she was when she retired from ABC, she retired reluctantly. She didn't want to go, but they were like, "Oop, girl, you kind of getting dottery," you know? And at the end of the show, like, according to that book, so I'm going to say allegedly, she was just more of a pain in the ass to everybody on that show anyway. They were like, damn, Barbara, like you always mess up. We are a very ageist society, everybody. We want to be like, ooh, these old dottery fucks in the way, smelling up the place, getting in the way, keeping the line moving slow, teeth falling out. We want to say all those things, but then the moment they're dead, they're like icons, legend. It's like, well, Whoopi, you didn't want her to moderate there towards the end, allegedly.
Yeah, but that's
because they were intimidated by an old dottery woman. They were like, you had your time, old lady.
I mean, well, that's like one there. You're still allowed to call a woman an icon, even if you didn't like her last 2 years of work. You know, like she had a long career. She interviewed a lot of celebrities and others, popes probably. I also love the idea that like the Pope was more willing to resign than Barbara Walters was more willing to resign, which is like the Cardinals being like, bitch, you can't resign, this isn't The View. and being like, I mean, you know, I don't know, I think I can. We've got Whoopi ready to take over. I mean, Pope Francis.
Were you moved at all by Barbara's passing?
I was trying to watch Jeopardy that night and was excited, and they preempted 30 minutes, and I was like, come on, it's not like the Pope died. A whole 30 minutes for Barbara Walters, and not just on ABC. I get it if it was on ABC, which was her chance, but like it was all the chance.
Truthfully, for as long as her career was very limited in like the clips and photos, like very limiting. Like we saw the same clips and photos for like 3 days. It's like she had a 50, 60 year career, girl. Find some more pictures.
But I do also love, I mean, the gays ran with the go-to ones, the Mariah and the Whitney. Whitney being like, bitch, I am not on drugs. You don't know anything about me. Okay? Get off my back.
Was that Barbara? Crack
That
is
was
Whack was
Barbara.
Barbara?
I don't know if Crack is Whack. Yeah, Crack is Whack was Barbara.
Barbara got all the good ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, listen, let's move on because we are running out of time. And the major story was not the dead Pope.
Or the dead icon.
Or the dead icons, or, travel snafus.
No, that's old hat now.
It has been once in 100 year scandal with the House. The Speaker of the House. Kevin McCarthy is not yet Speaker of the House. And we are, at the time of you guys listening to this, 3 days into the new Congress. Is that right?
So I'm unclear. Is Nancy still the Speaker of the House?
No. Is she still at work?
No.
Can she still do some
She's at work.
Like,
she's there.
Yeah, she was reelected. She's back manning her regular House seat, doing the business. I mean, at this point, Jeffries has gotten more votes for Speaker than Kevin McCarthy, and they are on like vote 5 now. And I think he's losing votes every vote now.
It is. I just do really like it that he's not going to be the Speaker of that. Like, he's not going to be the Speaker of the House. And I love it because like he made a big deal about I'm sure Nancy Pelosi hates him, and I'm sure he doesn't like Nancy Pelosi. And I just do like the idea of he doesn't get it. It's just another cherry on the top of Nancy Pelosi's like last year, just being like, we beat Trump. Sure, I lost the speakership and the House, but we did a lot better. And this fucking callow putz is not going to take over from me. Someone terrible is going to get it, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, they're saying Scalise, maybe.
No, he won't. He's too compromised, just like the rest of them.
Jordan's been getting votes, but he doesn't want it either. Because speaking of popes and pederasts, he knows a couple.
Yeah.
What I like about this whole situation is, if we remember before midterms, the smugness on that side. Think like liberals eat this. This is delicious because they had a lot riding on that red wave that didn't happen. So here's the thing. They tried to play it off cool after the fucking midterms did not go their way, but it was a gut punch now because McCarthy and look, he thought he was going to get it in 2016. When Paul Ryan ended up getting it. Is that the right year? Was it the right year?
Yeah, sure.
But like in that time when Paul Ryan became the Speaker, Kevin McCarthy walked into that room thinking he was going to be Speaker.
Yeah.
So this is the thing. And this is what I kind of taking it back to where you're like, you see the tides are changing. The tides are changing. Like, we are watching the Republican Party after they got an unexpected right hook. Like, we are watching them scramble and try to get back on their feet, and they don't have a fight in them. This is so good for us.
The two biggest stories and names in Republican politics right now are Kevin McCarthy and his historic failed bid, continuous failed bid to be Speaker of the House, and the untalented floppy faggot from Brazil, George Santos, who is not going to, be the first gay Republican elected congressman with a flourish. He's more of a whimpering homo from New York.
Sad moment for like it's such a you saw the photos of him just sitting there like alone in VIP, but you're not even in VIP. Girl.
Who's gonna touch him?
You're not even in no one wanted to be associated with him. Like, there was one little kid who even scooted away. Like, it's like this is what I love. This is the kind of stuff I love about Washington and politics. It's like it's so in your face when you have fucked up. And I mean, look, we had Matt Gaetz go over and talk to AOC. Gosar was talking with AOC, asking things of her when she was like, you better fucking check your, who are you to come up and even speak my name or say, hey, Alexandria, don't even fucking get my attention.
No, it is pretty fantastic. If you are someone who hates Republicans, and I'll tell you, if you listen to this podcast, that is us. I think I was reading an interesting article today, and like George Santos would have been a big face on the Republican side because he is the first gay Republican elected to the House, who is out. Let's be real. Plenty of homosexual Republicans on that side, married to women too. But he he supported the "Don't Say Gay" bill. Like he would have been on Fox News and Tucker and all those all the time, being like, no, this is actually good for gay people. Like hateful fucking national shit they were trying to pull. So I'm happy that he is already a pariah, and I am happy that the Republicans are not officially in charge of the Congress yet, because you can't do anything in Congress if you haven't elected the speaker, and they have shown their willingness. They're being run by 10 to 15 full-on extremists. And Joe Biden was out there with McConnell today in Kentucky talking about a bridge. The optics are good. Say, oh, fuck Biden for standing next to McConnell. No, stand next to McConnell and talk about how the Democrats gave you this bridge. Sure, you can say McConnell did it, bipartisanship did it, but everyone knows it's Republicans not doing shit and fucking literally can't do shit because they can't even fucking take their first baby step into leadership. They literally can't even their first layup baby step into leadership. And old Joe is like, walking across the bridge. First of all, it looks good to show that he can walk, and two, he got a bridge.
Absolutely, and 100%. And the thing is, like a lot of people want to be like, oh, the liberals should not gloat. It's like, you know what? We have not gotten a lot of wins lately. And honestly, let's not forget when Roe v. Wade was overturned, that was before the midterms. And that made a lot of people nervous too, because we were talking red wave. Yeah. So it's like, look, we had fucking 4 years of Trump. Like that was not good time for us. We fucking and it was all conservatives gloating, getting their fucking tax cut, getting all their fucking bullshit. So you know what? If this is a fucking game and this is a war or whatever, then I want my win when we get our wins. And I do feel like there's a turn and movement towards more progressive ways, because the voices, the smaller voices are getting louder and angrier, but the world's moving in our way. In our direction. And the thing, and what was proved in 2022 was that in the election of 2022 is that the angry voices and the crazy voices are losing voices for the most part. Sure, a bunch of them, enough of them won to be handicapping the Republican Party right now. But if this continues to be the face of the Republican Party, the main face, that's because the Senate is democratically controlled. So the Republicans on that side are not in charge. So the only Republicans with power in the federal government are, well, one, the Supreme Court, but two, the Congress, and they are just chickens with their head cutting off, heads with their heads cut, running around with their heads cut off, and it is cute. Who knew I love watching chickens running around with their heads cut off? We love to see it. I mean, listen, these are the situations when I wish that I had like access to the 24-hour news channels regularly, so that way I could like just do like 3-hour melt. But I'm happy. I think things are good. I think 2023 is going to look good. I think they're going to look bad. But look, truthfully, this is not the best for us. We do want a government that works, but we will have moderate Republicans, like what you were texting earlier. Moderate Republicans are probably going to start working for once because they have to.
Well, if the option is complete nihilism versus siding with people to bring some bacon home to your constituents, as they say, then I have a feeling we'll see some of those people come over to our side.
There's some seats up for early. I mean, listen, there's 2 more years. We have another fucking election, and the way it's going, more Republicans will be out of a job
and dead.
Well, we've come to the end. What a good positive show it's been, you know? To start off the new year. Happy New Year, Casey. Do you want to tell people if you're doing anything?
Yes. You can see me up at the SF Sketchfest the final week of January. I will be hosting a show at Cobb's Comedy Club on the 27th. I will be at the roast of Bruce Campbell on the 28th and doing various other things that week. Find it on line. Doing some things down here, but I can't remember what they are yet. And then Tony and I are gonna do a live show this year. Okay. And so I'm saying it here. And so you keep asking us, keep commenting on the page, asking where that goddamn live show is.
He put it out there. He put it out. I was wondering if we should put that out there and hold ourselves accountable. But yeah, I agree. Did you say your social media?
You can follow me on Instagram at Casey Ley, Ley. And that's it for now.
Y'all, if you like GPHH, please go to our iTunes page, subscribe, rate, leave a comment. Always does help. If you like Tony Soto, I'm always around. The Tony Soto Show is back every week, so tune in to that every Wednesday anywhere podcasts are streamed. If you are in the Southern California area and you want to see me live, there are tons of times that you can do it these days. I'm going to be at Precinct this Sunday on the 8th, doing Box Stars, which is the Go-Go Person competition.
It's very fun.
It's so fun that I host with my good Judy Meatball. The show is from 4 to 9, but I am doing double duty at Precinct that night because from 8 to 9, from 9 p.m. on Sunday the 8th, I will be hosting a Sound and Vision a Bowie birthday. That's right. David Bowie birthday party with performers like Clint Yeager, Felony Dodger, Queen Sheba, Dean Buckley, and so much more. So come out to that at Precinct. Also, on the 9th of January, I will be doing the first Learn the Words Bitch of the year at Akbar in Silver Lake with my special guest judges, Barbara Gray and Tess Baker. They're the ones who saved Britney. All right. I am
it's Tess Barker.
Tess Barker, what'd I say?
Baker.
Oh, God. That means that looks like we misspelled her name then on the poster.
Whoops.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm the Tony Soto Show on everything, so follow me and bye. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's been up forever.
Well,